Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, here as always with my co-host Aaron Coe.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Today is Thursday, September 2nd. Not a lot going on in sports. Got some roster cuts for football. Got some signings. Other than that, baseball.
Playoff race.
Playoff race.
What are you talking about?
I'm not getting
World
excited.
Series.
I'm not getting excited. I'm not letting myself get invested. So we're going to Kansas City in September.
You've been hurt before.
I've been hurt way too many times.
Open your heart.
Shut the fuck up.
Let
No.
yourself be loved.
Shut the fuck. What got into you? Like, what happened? Okay, yeah, we're going to Kansas City in September, so
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for the Mariners to make the playoffs. I'm rooting for them to be in the playoff race by the time we go to Kansas City because the A's are going to be in town, so then we can go there in Mariners stuff and root very loudly against the A's.
Give us 2 more weeks,
Yeah.
Mariners.
Yeah, seriously.
Please.
2 more weeks. I guess kind of the biggest thing for us Seahawks fans since the last podcast was the Jamal Adams extension. I'm not going to say like team friendly because it's still a lot of money, but the Seahawks kind of got what they wanted as far as the negotiations went.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was afraid it was going to get out of control.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It landed probably about where we thought it would.
There was like the reports of the franchise tag and then Jamal Adams trying to qualify as a linebacker. Those reports started to scare me.
Yeah.
Not for that particular like, oh no, what if the Seahawks use the franchise tag and Jamal Adams is considered a linebacker? Like, not for that, but because that usually leads to a player leaving a team when that kind of shit happens with the franchise tag.
At the end of the day, his mama called and said, "Sign it, boy."
Yeah.
And he signed it.
Yeah, so
he's the highest paid, safety in the history of football by over 10%. I think it was about 13%.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got a very fair deal. But it's also not a contract that kills the Seahawks. Yeah. I thought it was good, just good all around. I'm not the biggest Jamal Adams fan. Like, I really like him. I think he's a really good football player. I have real concerns about him in coverage. I hope it was just injury last year. But I'm glad they did it. And I was never someone that says, "Oh, you have to sign him." It's you don't just because you made a trade doesn't mean you want to pay him $25 million
right,
and make
yeah.
a even dumber mistake. So no, I thought it was, I'm fine with it, I guess is what I would say.
According to this post, we are not equivalent. Prez from last year, Prez practicing this year.
Oh, okay.
We are not equivalent.
So
You're worried about coverage. No, you're worried about coverage.
Yeah, okay.
He is not equivalent to Prez from last year.
Okay.
So
good. Yeah, I would love to see it. I think he has the ability to do it. So,
yeah.
Hopefully he will.
Yeah, I mean, he just, like his instincts are crazy and he's obviously a ridiculous athlete. So anyone with his instincts and athleticism, you would think would be able to figure out coverage at some
I would
point.
hope so. Just ask Trey Flowers.
Yeah. Does he have instincts? I don't know if he has instincts.
Maybe not.
Okay. The other.
Hey, nobody holds somebody to a 14-yard gain on 3rd and 12 like the great Trey Flowers. How dare you?
He will never give up a touchdown on 3rd and long.
No.
But he will always give up the first down.
That's right. That's right. Extend the drive, baby.
Yeah, get that offense nice and tired. That's
right.
what we want.
Wear him down.
Yeah. All right. The other Seahawks contract news is Quandre Diggs isn't practicing because he's making a statement. According to Pete Carroll, he wants a new deal. Diggs is in the final year of his basically $6 million contract. So Dwayne Brown and Diggs are both wanting new deals. I know the Dwayne Brown talks have heated up, I guess. I don't know what the right word is for that, but I know they're in discussion. So it seems like that'll probably happen at some point.
It sounds like they're, thing is he's 30, I think he's 36 years old. So I think they have real concerns about a big extension.
Yeah.
So I think they may just kind of sweeten it this year, just throw him a little bit more to kind of keep him happy. But They definitely need him this year and maybe next year, but you can't be throwing a 5-year deal at a 36-year-old lineman with a bunch of guaranteed money.
Having a shitty old lineman in like the last year of Russ's opportunities to win a Super Bowl would just be so awful. Like that's getting paid a lot,
Yeah.
It would just be like Dwayne Brown is the reason we couldn't get another good offensive lineman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I don't want that to be how I feel about Dwayne Brown.
No,
because
no.
I love Dwayne Brown.
But they gotta have him this year.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Oh my god.
He's like.
Yeah.
There's like, it's kind of become a joke at this point, but there's like the best player and the most important player.
Yeah.
Like he's not the best player on the offense, but arguably he's the most important player. Like with no Dwayne Brown, other than Russ, this team goes nowhere.
Yeah, I mean you can. Yeah, other than Russ, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any player on the whole team that.
I mean, yeah. Now that I think, it's like
it
would,
Like, yeah. Of course, we don't want Bobby to go down.
Right.
But you can get by.
Russell, because the thing is, Dwayne Brown goes down, Russ will go down too, because he will fucking die.
Yeah.
So I hope those deals could get worked out because I really like Quandre Diggs. He gives me Earl Thomas vibes, and I just like it. And yeah, I mean, we already talked about Dwayne Brown. So important to the team.
Yeah, I would like to see them extend. I really hope that they'll extend Quandre.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good player. I don't know why they just. I mean, he's going into the last year on his deal. Why not do it now? Do you really want him to go on the open market after this season?
Yeah, I don't. The Seahawks always. I never know what the strategy is with their signings and re-signings, but they're playing. They tend to like play the waiting game is like the one common pattern we've seen. I feel so
they do, and it seems like they usually win those.
Yeah, but it's like, what happens if we lose Quandre Diggs and then we have like Ryan Neal starting at? I mean, I like Ryan Neal, but like we can't have him as a starting safety on a Super Bowl team. That already is like a weak defense in general.
Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely hope they do it. You can't pay 2 safeties a ton of money. That's the tricky part.
True.
So.
Yeah.
We'll
I mean,
see.
I guess, also
they might have to go younger there.
Amadi, DJ Reed, and Marquise Blair. Like, so they do have a lot of depth, like, in that secondary, but just not a lot of, like, really, really good depth. Like, just solid, decent guys. A lot of really, really good, like, nickel guys or something, All right, so other Seahawks news. I forgot about this one. Traded for Sidney Jones. I'm hyped about this. Obviously, Sidney Jones was a great UW player, one of my favorite players on the team at the time. I could definitely say that. The star cornerbacks on those ridiculous defenses were always just like my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Like just the attitude they had and stuff. It was just so great. And he had a very disappointing start to his career in Philly, got traded to Jacksonville. Had a good year last year. PFF had him graded higher than any of our corners, except maybe
he was right there with Reed.
Yeah,
with DJ Reed. They had almost the same grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I just the change of setting worked for him, and he went from Philly to fucking Jacksonville. So imagine him in the culture in a place he's familiar. I love this.
Well, I think the only question is health. He's I think I read that he has missed 33 of 64 games due to injury.
Oh damn! I didn't know it was that bad.
Obviously, he had that horrible. He runs a sub. He's in the 4.4s at the combine, does the workout for scouts. I think at the UW, and blows out his Achilles on just running around. Doing a drill. And he when he did it, he looked down. He's like, "Oh crap," no shrieking and pain. He's like, "Oh,
fuck." Damn. That's a dude that gets injured.
Cost him millions of dollars. That injury. So can he stay healthy? That's the only question. But I think he could either be a really good nickel corner or potential starter. At some point. So I think it was a
How old is he?
Move.
He's only 20. 25.
If that, yeah, he's like 25, 26.
Sidney Jones age. Yeah, so out of 25. He maybe more so than any other player on the Seahawks is a guy that I'm rooting for, just in the sense of like I would absolutely love to look back on Sidney Jones' career and just be like, oh, he was a great Seahawk. Like even if he wasn't the greatest, even if he wasn't like a Richard Sherman level player or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
like he's just because I loved him so much at UW, if he could like have a very like nice long solid career with the Seahawks, I would love that. He's
I they got to figure something out because right now Trey Flowers is the starter at right corner.
Yeah.
They moved DJ over the left side just a few days ago. I don't think Okello Witherspoon has impressed them. Like he's got every physical trait you want, but the consistency hasn't been there. So I think they're thinking is I'd rather give up the first down than the touchdown. So they're going to put Trey there.
Prevent defense, prevent wins, baby.
Yeah, hopefully Sidney or Okello can win that job at some point during the season. That's a major issue. Mm-hmm. But and then I think they signed another corner today. I think that's just for depth or practice squad potentially. But his last name is Warrior.
Whoa!
So I like him.
Yeah, that's dope. We just have so much like. The thing I like about this secondary is there's a bunch of guys that I could see like popping and being really good, but potential. also like maybe none of them, like they might all be bad. Right. So like that's just definitely like Seahawk fan optimism. Any other objective fan would look at the secondary and be like, that's pretty shitty. But
there were Seahawks reporters. I know Greg Bell was one of them from the Tacoma News Tribune, who was projecting Trey Flowers to be cut. So. Days after people think he might not make the team, he's the starter. So I don't know what's going on. It's a little scary. Hopefully the pass rush will get there.
I don't know how you can look at what Trey Flowers does on a week-to-week basis and say he does his job.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
He's a backup corner in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you can play if you have to start for an injury for a couple games. He's not going to kill you.
So, okay, with that being said...
bleed you to death slowly.
Yeah, with that being said, a lot of these corners are brand new, so you can't expect... Like, I wouldn't expect Sidney Jones to... I wouldn't expect, like, a lot of different corners, unless they were star corners, to come start immediately. But, Yeah, so I'm rooting for Sidney, personally.
100%,
Yeah. I guess it's just Seahawk talk today, pretty much. We got...
We're in a pennant race. What are you talking about? What the hell's wrong with you?
We got Holmgren and
bye week.
Holmgren and Hasselbeck are being inducted into the Seahawks Ring of Honor. Well deserved. About damn time. I mean, you can speak to these two guys much better than I can. I barely remember either of their tenures. I basically remember Matt Hasselbeck being made of glass. That's what I remember about him mostly. So,
and toward the end he was. But he was very healthy during his heyday.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Yeah, I only really remember the last little bit.
Holmgren, okay. First of all, this is long overdue. I know there was a little bit of a bitter ending, and he ended up going to the Browns, and that, as a whatever, not really the GM, but the president or something, and that, it was the Browns. Yeah. So, it didn't go all that well. Mm-hmm. This is long overdue. He, as I've talked about, in the mid-'90s, the Seahawks, they packed up buses and were going to leave.
Yeah.
We had Save Our Seahawks. We were trying to keep them from leaving like we did the Mariners and tried to do with the Sonics and failed. And then, Paul Allen ends up buying the team. A new stadium gets built. And Paul Allen and Holmgren is, winning with the Packers. He'd gone to 2 Super Bowls and won one of them. And, man, they signed Holmgren. I'm like, wow, this is what having Paul Allen means.
Yeah.
Like, we are legit. We're a legit NFL franchise. And though he didn't win a Super Bowl, he did get to one, and they were in the playoffs every year. It's a little bit like now where you felt like every year they had a chance.
Yeah.
It was almost a given they were going to make the playoffs, and you felt like every year you had a chance.
I think what speaks to his success the most is the coach that followed him.
Yeah.
You know, for like everyone after him until like it was dog shit. So yeah.
What the hell is it?
Jim Mora.
Jim Mora.
Yeah. Jim Mora was
and not the one
failure.
not the meme guy, not the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
That's his dad.
That's his dad.
Yeah. You know, I mean, again, just a winning culture, an offense that was really fun to watch. Got to a Super Bowl. Some say they got screwed in that Super Bowl. I kind of agree, but also, you know, blame the drunk tight end for not catching the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I don't know, man. There's very few games that I'm like, you could definitely blame that on the refs. And I might feel different because I don't even really remember that game a ton.
Yeah, you were like 5 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember it. So like,
there were a couple really bad calls.
Yeah, I watched the plays and I'm like, okay, these are really bad calls. But it's not like Rams versus Saints level.
No.
Like, you know, like there's some calls that definitely change games. And yeah, like those change the game. But also, yeah, Stevens, like, catch the fucking ball.
Yeah,
you know?
It was brutal. But anyway, just, you know, again, just every year a shot at winning. I think he should be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I know it seems like they're trying to get coaches in before they die.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing, oh God, who did they just put in there? He was with the Eagles, then the Rams, then the Chiefs. What's his name? One with Kurt Warner as the quarterback.
Motherfucker. I'm
Greatest show on turf.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's how great he was. I can't remember his name, and he's going in before Holmgren, but he's also, you know, he's in his 80s now, so I think Holmgren will get into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yes.
There have been guys that have gotten in with lesser resumes. Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Holmgren will get into the NFL Hall of Fame. Long overdue for the Seahawks. And then Hasselbeck, you know, second greatest Seahawks quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Really a fun guy. I always liked his personality.
Mm-hmm. Every time I've heard him talk, he just seems like a really great dude. So, yeah. Congrats to them, and you know, this kind of brings back the conversation. I think we've had this on the podcast and off the podcast before already, but you know, who's next?
Oh, that's the thing. There's going to be a lot.
There's going to be so many from this era, but then it's like, how long do you wait?
Although some of the Legion of Boom guys are trying really hard.
Yeah, man. E.T.
getting arrested.
You can't put E.T. in. Richard Sherman will be fine.
Yeah.
In like 10 years, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Richard Sherman will get in. I think Cam Chancellor should
definitely go in. If he doesn't get it like that, would be a devastating.
Brandon Browner's not getting in.
No.
Earl Thomas probably
getting
not.
Into a prison cell.
Yeah, Earl Thomas probably not. But he could do a major PR rebound.
See, that's the thing. If he has to do something to get in though, like he can't just.
And I don't know if he's capable of that.
I don't think he even fucking cares.
He needs to go do a bunch of interviews and.
Yeah, and I just like.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares. I just don't think he cares.
Yeah, he had a screw loose back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, he was always a little weird.
Yeah, and it was just like. Kind of written off as like you know, I mean, because he kind of played crazy too.
Yeah.
You know, just his head just flying in everywhere, so it just kind of made sense. But when like really weird shit starts happening, then it's like, okay.
But you could argue that he was the best player in the Legion of Boom. I mean,
yeah,
you know, Richard Sherman. I mean, they were all great, but like. You're not making a crazy argument by saying Earl Thomas was the best player on the defense.
I don't. You could definitely make that argument.
I don't think he was, but it's not a crazy argument.
I think you could also definitely make the argument. I think this is a more sound argument that he was the best. Like he had the best Seahawks career out of like the Legion of Boom because he lasted a little. Like even though it was just like a season, but Yeah. So.
And I mean, do you put Marshawn in? What about Sean Alexander? He started running out of bounds before it was cool.
Yeah, I know. Wait, is Sean Alexander a piece of shit, or am I remembering that wrong?
He's said some dumb things, I think. Was there something else about him? In Seattle, we just didn't like him because he was soft and ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
But he's the all-time leading rusher by several thousand yards, I believe.
Yeah.
For the Seahawks, touchdowns by a mile. We never liked him. We never really embraced him. And then Marshawn Lynch comes along and is the opposite of that, refusing to go down and all those things. So it sort of even cemented that view further. But
by the way, I need to say Sean Alexander is not a piece of shit.
Not a piece of shit.
I don't even know who I was thinking of. Totally remember that wrong.
He's said some things that people didn't like, and I don't remember. They weren't major things, though, if I remember right.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember any of it. But no, I thought he did something like really bad.
Okay, but, no.
Yeah, sorry to Sean
just
Alexander.
Mildly annoying.
Hey, Sean, I'm sorry. I respect you. You were one of my first favorite Seahawks players. So,
stats wise, he absolutely should be in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it if he went in, but I'm not calling for it either.
But Matt Strong.
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate. I played his whole career.
And he's like been in Seattle in the community. Like he just does random fucking like football camps, you know?
It's so funny. So when I was a kid, there was no Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess why would there have been?
Because the team was still new.
It was new, and everyone was bad.
And then they put a couple guys in that, I mean, Jacob Green, great player. Have you?
Nope, never heard of him.
Nobody outside of Seattle's probably heard of him.
Actually, maybe I've heard of him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think is Joe Nash in there. There's a few guys that were just longtime
Definitely
Seahawks,
haven't heard of Joe
but
Nash.
nowhere near the Hall of Fame. So now we're talking about Hall of Fame, at least borderline Hall of Fame guys,
Yeah.
So it's a different deal.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's just weird that we're gonna have a lot of guys going. But these will be the first guys to go in. Paul Allen, went in posthumously, right, in 2018 or 19.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, the last one was Big Walt in 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, that one was kind of late too.
So it had been a while. So I don't know why they waited so long for Holmgren. I think they had planned on doing it last year, but
COVID shit.
You got to do that with fans.
Oh, for sure, that would be so shitty.
But he's never raised the flag or
Yeah,
and he still goes there. That. Like he's at the facility and stuff. So it's not like they had a terrible relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, is it weird to have someone that's like just out of the league come like raise the flag like for a coach? Like does that feel weird for a coach to do that?
It's been like 15 years.
It's been
now.
15 years. Yeah,
like
it's been 15 years.
10 years would have been long enough. Like
yeah, you're right. So, like, back in, like, when the Ring of Honor got started, KJ Wright would have been a lock, right?
Yes.
And now it's like...
He should go in.
I think he should definitely go in, but...
He and Max Strong.
Should like... The thing is, like, should 12 or 13 of the guys from that Super Bowl roster be getting into the Ring of Honor? Like...
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It is tough.
You know what I mean? Like...
But you're not retiring their numbers.
True. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Good point.
It's not like the fucking Celtics retiring Kevin Garnett's number when he was there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, or the Yankees.
They won a cheap championship. Like LeBron does.
Didn't the Yankees retire like... Didn't the Yankees retire like Don Mattingly's number?
They might have. Don Mattingly was like... what does he compare to? I mean, he was a great player.
Great player, but Yankees got to retire Don Mattingly's number.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah. Never won a World Series either. They won World Series before he got there.
Yeah, I know. That's shitty. I guess that's, that's a consolation at least. Okay. What do we got next? Okay.
God.
So Urban Meyer is being put under investigation. This was quick, right? Like, this was pretty quick. I mean, we all knew it was coming, that he'd start being investigated, but pretty quick. And it's by the NFLPA, though, and given the NFLPA's track record of failing at everything they do, I'm guessing nothing will come out of this, but they're investigating Urban Meyer after he said that vaccine status did play into roster decisions. Which I'm guessing this was the case for many teams. They were just not smart enough they were smart enough not to say it.
Yes.
For example, a lot of people think, Cam Newton
100%
got cut. A lot of the reason was because of the vaccine.
100%.
And I think, I don't think it was he got cut because of the vaccine, but it was like him and Mac Jones were relatively close. And then Bill was like, that just teetered Bill, and he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, because he's like, what am I going to do if I have a Cam Newton game plan and then he doesn't show up for a test again like he did a couple of weeks ago?
What does
I have to completely shift my game plan to Mac Jones? They have nothing in common. Exactly.
And what do I get, what benefit do I have from keeping an unvaccinated Cam Newton as a backup, where one, he could fuck the whole team from COVID stuff. Two, he just having Cam Newton as a backup is just going to come with a media circus of its own. Having any big name quarterback, if you had I'm trying to think of a quarterback that's kind of washed out, another quarterback that's kind of washed that was really good. But any formerly really good quarterback, any former MVP as your backup is going to bring a media circus with it. And then also, like you said, it's the same thing but reverse. Why would you make a game plan with Mac Jones and then your backup is Cam Newton to come in and run that same game plan when he couldn't throw the fucking ball last year. He just couldn't. It was bad.
Yeah.
He was just not good.
And I also think when you have big ego guys, and this is what, I've said this before, what kind of hurt Kaepernick getting a job. Having Cam Newton as a backup is not very good for your football team because I don't think he can handle that.
Yeah, so
I don't know if he'll even play this year unless somebody gets injured.
Right. He even said it last year. He's like, I know there's not 32 quarterbacks better than me.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a guy that is interested in just being a clipboard guy and helping out his teammate. Okay, I don't want to say it like that. He's not interested in being a clipboard guy and grinding film for the system that's not for him. I'm sure he's a great teammate, but there's certain guys that there's a reason that Chase Daniels is still in the fucking league.
Or Geno Smith. Look at the Seahawks.
They're just good. Yeah, they're good. They're good backup quarterbacks.
He's being in the
Geno
NFL
Smith,
is a good gig.
Yeah,
I'm not going to start. Russell Wilson never gets hurt. Yeah. Knock on wood.
The reason Teddy Bridgewater has this opportunity now is because he was willing to do that when he went through that injury shit. And arguably Jameis Winston, too. If Jameis Winston was out, at first he
humbled himself.
Yeah, he humbled himself very quick.
I didn't think he could do it.
If he didn't, he wouldn't still be on the Saints.
Yeah.
He would not still be on the Saints if he didn't do that. So, yeah. So, props to a guy like Jameis. Props to a guy like Geno Smith. Props to a guy like Teddy. Fucking Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels, who will probably play till he's 50.
Who just got cut that I told you about yesterday? No, it wasn't Colt McCoy. It was a USC quarterback, Matt Barkley.
Oh, Barkley.
Matt Barkley just got cut yesterday.
Yeah.
He's still in the fucking league because he could be a backup. So, so Sam Ellinger got injured. Very unfortunate. Carson Wentz still potentially injured. Just got taken off the COVID list, I think.
Yeah.
We're inching very close to seeing Jacob Eason's one and only NFL start.
Maybe, yeah.
And that'd be crazy.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, I think with back to Urban Meyer, I think I think the NFLPA is we know you guys are cutting people because of COVID. We don't want to hear about it. We don't really want to fight this. But when you say it out loud, it's sort of oh gosh, parenting, like, your kid, your teenager likes to have a pop once in a while, and it's kind of happening. It's like a don't ask, don't tell situation. But then when you find the beer under the bed, you're like, oh god, okay,
now you gotta,
come on, hide it better.
Hide it better.
Like,
yeah. Exactly.
It's not even don't. It's like hide it better.
Hide it better. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I know.
How stupid are you?
It's just a dumb thing to say. Like, I guess. I mean, you don't have to make that point anymore. You already cut the guys.
Yeah. Just you don't need to say why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just the fact that Urban Meyer is such like a secretive sleazeball, it surprises me that he let this slip.
And then he's had a couple missteps too. He did the thing where he
hired the racist coach. Yeah.
And then had to fire him. And
he hired him and then defended him and then was like, "Oh, okay, you guys are really mad. Okay, I'll fire him." Like, oh, you're that mad about this. Like,
which is just like double. I mean, he fucked up twice. Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna do that, then it just shows that you're really an idiot when you end up firing the guy.
I know, it's like
what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The way I was about to say it's an impossible situation. The way you don't put yourself in that situation is not hiring the racist coach. That's in the first place.
Of course.
That's how you like stay out of that situation.
Yeah, but now you look like you're tone deaf and weak.
Yeah,
worst of both worlds. So I don't know.
Over under
see it going well.
Over under 2.5 seasons before Urban Meyer starts having heart issues.
Yeah, and then
he goes back to Ohio State.
I think he'll end up there for 3 seasons.
3
so
seasons?
I'll barely take the over.
Barely taking the over.
Then he's gonna sit out a year, and then he's gonna
think
USC or something?
How about this? Do you think? I don't know what his contract is.
It's massive. I don't know what the buyouts are.
No, but what are the years though? I guess the buyout doesn't really matter. But yeah. So, do you think he gets fired or like bought out or like quits / has health issues?
Oh, I think
because it doesn't sound like you think he's making it to the end of his contract.
I think he'll end up resigning.
Okay.
And just knowing that
not re-signing, resigning.
I think I think about halfway through next year he's going to start feeling like he should have stayed in college where he can be a dictator.
Yeah.
Although who knows with the NIL stuff, maybe he won't be as attracted to that.
But yeah, by the way, Dabo Swinney's still yet to quit. So, pussy. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Urban, your over/under number is really good. It's going to be right in the 2.5 to 3 years range where, I just don't see it. I don't see it working. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's always unfortunate when like a sideline shot will make will confirm what you think. What's confirmation bias? Like the shot of someone's face on the sideline, it like confirms your bias of like they showed Trevor Lawrence in that preseason game, and I think it was after he might have got sacked or something, and he was just on the sideline and he looked like he was regretting coming out into the draft, and it was just so sad. Yeah. Oh, how about this? Over under. How about this? Do you think Trevor Lawrence re-signs with Jacksonville? Because I'm not gonna say like it's impossible to trade him pretty much, but do you think he'll re-sign? Early predictions.
Yeah, probably. I mean, unless he's a bust,
True, yeah. Because not very many good quarterbacks don't re-sign.
Yeah, because it's very hard for them to leave. They just get franchised forever. Yeah. So, I'm a believer in him. I if he can stay healthy, I think he's gonna be I don't ever predict Hall of Fame, but I think he's gonna be one of the great quarterbacks.
He just made a play in the preseason. He just like kind of ran around a defensive lineman, and then just kind of off balance. He was just like kind of palming the ball all the time, off balance, just kind of threw a dime, and I was like, that like he just looks like an NFL, like he's an NFL quarterback. Yeah, like it's Yeah, okay. How about some Mariners news? This is just the Seattle podcast.
World Series,
yeah. So do they suck? It sounds like you don't think they suck.
I think. Okay, yeah, I'm a little torn on this. I think that I'll say this. I'm watching the standings.
Yeah.
I think it's very unlikely.
I'm looking right now. We're what, 2 games back?
Yeah. But if I'm just gonna sit here and just be negative or whatever, why am I doing a podcast?
Yeah. I'm not. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm just staying zen. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be negative. I'm
No.
just having no expectations.
I
can't. I'm not letting myself be hurt by this team anymore.
yeah, I would say that I'm probably there with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful. I want
Of
them
course.
to get there.
Of course. Yeah.
And I don't think it's over. I think it's unlikely. Part of the issue is there's 2 teams in front of them.
Yeah.
And that if it was just one, then you're like, okay, if we win 2 series and they lose 2 series, we're there.
Yeah.
But when it's 2 teams, now you got to have 2 teams fall apart. Their offense is still very limited. But yeah, they have a legit shot. They're what, 3 back and 2 back of
2 back
Oakland.
of the A's. Yeah.
So, and there's still, 25, 26 games left, something like that.
It's a definite shot. I mean, the Mariners have pulled off comebacks in less likely scenarios.
I keep waiting for the bullpen to fall apart, and it just so far hasn't happened.
Yeah. Seawalder's been very solid.
I'm a little bit worried. I'm afraid next year they're going to add a couple guys, and then their bullpen's going to start falling apart. And
yeah.
They're going to end up with a worse record because they'll start losing the 1-run games. I don't know. But, hey, we should enjoy that they're at least in a race.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
World Series.
Yeah. So, follow-up question. Does Jared Kelenic suck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He sucked, and then he had a couple of pretty good weeks where he looked good, and then he's been a fucking disaster. I really think you can't send him down at this point.
Yeah, it's too
but
late.
Give him a couple days off, let him gather himself. Maybe stop having him play center field. I think he's a corner, so put him in a more comfortable position.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're thinking this is your long-term corner outfielder, then why are we not having him? Who are we prioritizing?
I'd rather put Haniger there, and he's been there before.
Yeah.
He's making mistakes here and there in the outfield. He had a stretch where he struck out, I think, in 8 out of 10 at bats. He's just lost.
He has swings that they look like he'll get fooled on a changeup so bad that he looks like a pitcher trying to hit.
Yeah.
And that a pitcher that expects to just get all fastballs, and then the other pitcher that's actually pitching decides to throw in a changeup or a curveball. You ever seen a pitcher just swing like 30-40% too early on a changeup? He looks like that sometimes.
Yeah, he does. And you played baseball, you get it. There are times where, because baseball, when you're a hitter, you're guessing a lot, right?
I mean,
I'm expecting a fastball here.
Yeah. Ultimately,
I'm down 0-2. I'm expecting a off speed here.
It's like a 50-50 combo between a guess and a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even at the major league level, there's even more guessing.
Even more guess, yeah.
Because you don't have time. You can't sit there and oh, yeah, that looks like a fastball.
Yeah.
I think I'll swing at that now. Yeah. It happens so fast. So I think I'm watching him, and I'm he looks like a guy. When you're playing the guessing game, sometimes you're in the groove and you trust your instincts, and then other times you're oh, I think he's going to throw a fastball. Wait, but I think he thinks I'm gonna think he's gonna throw a fastball, so I bet he's gonna throw a change. You start doing that shit.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
he doesn't trust himself, and it looks really bad at times. So, God, I hope he turns it around. I'm not calling him a bust. It's way too early for that, but it's not good right now.
No, it's
and
not good.
The whole thing, Jerry DiPoto done a great job. Farm system was rated last by some when he got here. It recently was rated number 1 by Baseball America. That's awesome.
Hell yeah!
But
I
some
didn't
of
know
these,
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, some of these guys, Got to pop though. Who's come up and who's come up and been a dominant player?
Right.
You know, no one yet.
Right.
You know, there's been flashes of a couple guys, but you know who, you know, so it's the major league level that we care about.
Mm-hmm.
Minor league level, awesome. Do you think in 2001, when the Mariners looked like they might win a World Series, do you think I was looking at the fucking minor league players to see who was coming up?
No,
they didn't give a shit.
Fuck no.
I didn't care.
Yeah, no.
Because they're in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And you know what I care about? The major leagues.
Major leagues, yeah.
So I'm not going to get all excited about these guys that have done nothing in Major League Baseball yet.
That's funny. That is a great marker of how sad your baseball franchise is how invested in the minor league system you are. Like that's pretty much it. Yeah. There's a direct line graph, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, so when Pinella was around, yeah, you might go to a Tacoma Rainiers game or an Everett Aqua Sox game, and hey, let's take a look at the kids.
You're just going to a game. You're just going to a baseball game.
You're not going watching Julio Rodriguez saying, "Please save us,
yeah,
please, we can't hit,
Julio,
please, hurry up, we gotta
hurry."
Yeah. So yeah, obviously Dipoto and Service signing multi-year extensions. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so you sent me this news, and my immediate response was, "This is either the best or the worst news in Mariners history, and we'll find out soon." Yeah. So far I can say that they've done things the right way. Like, you can talk about specific things you maybe don't like, specific players, specific trades or signings that you don't like, but in general they have gone through the right process, and it seems like to a degree it's going the way that they are planning it and wanting it to go. Yeah. Which is what we cannot say for any other coach and GM combo in Mariners history since when, I don't know. I mean, 2001.
Yeah, Pinella and Pat Gillick.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so like, what I can say for sure is just going around the fucking coaching mill, like, just going through this cycle again isn't going to help. No. So unless you sign like a big name coach that's really good, or you just find a gem in the rough, but it's like, why don't they deserve more? Yeah.
To me, it's like, unless you're getting Theo Epstein.
Yeah.
Who is out there, by the way. I don't know what he wants to do, but I think I hope they didn't sign them for 8 years. Mm-hmm. They said multi-year. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I hope it's like a 3 or 4 year deal.
See, that's I'm concerned it's like a 6-year deal, and
So, but these guys have earned the chance to see this through and find out, can Jerry put together a World Series contending team? Mm-hmm. Can Scott Service win games when people actually expect him to win games? Yeah. I don't know the answer. Nobody does. But I think, to dump them now and switch directions again, I don't see how that could have been helpful at all. So I'm in favor of it. I'm still skeptical of both of these guys, mm-hmm. but I think it was the right move. Good timing for them, because the Mariners ownership would have looked awful,
So Dipoto, more than any other GM in recent years, has made trades that have been essentially unanimously won by him. Yeah. Like, people have looked at those trades, and whether it's like right when it happens or with hindsight, like the Cano and Diaz trade, it's like, okay, Dipoto fleeced him. Yeah. He's one of the only GMs that's like really consistently done that within the last few years. Scott Service, at least at one point during the season, sometimes it's only up to the All-Star break, sometimes it's into August, now it's into September. He has them going further into the season with like the fans still caring than he should. Yeah. Like, he's having them play competitive games at a rate that is like so unprecedented for the teams that he's been rolled out with.
Well, I believe they hit the over-under yesterday, I think.
And they still have like what you said, like 25,
26 games, 25 games, something like that. So, unless they go in 25, they're gonna shatter the over under. Again, he's not my favorite manager. Like, I think he's kind of just boring sometimes. Yeah. Although he's gotten tossed a couple times, which is good.
Recently he's been getting a little hot.
I'd like to see him get his money's worth a little bit more on those, but whatever. But yeah, I think for him to hold a clubhouse together to really win more games last year and this year than we expected, when the players, like, how do you tell the players we're not even trying to win at all? Yeah, we hope we find somebody better than you.
Yeah, you're like, my boss is trying to make us lose. Yeah, like that's
and still go out. This only worked in the movie Major League.
Yeah,
for him to hold all that together and have that those guys believe they can win. I mean, they've had a lot of comeback wins.
Yeah, I think a lot of the culture in that clubhouse seems so incredible, and a lot of that I think can be attributed to like the youth, like the young players are a little more starry-eyed than if we had an old shitty roster, but all the young guys seem to like each other. And
it looks like they give a shit,
too. That's the thing. And they give a shit, and yeah, Scott Service is boring, but why do those players care about each other? Why does Jared Kelenic jump into Scott Service's arms after he has a walk-off walk? Yeah. Why do they give a fuck?
Yeah.
It's not because Scott Service is shitty to them.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So why, the idea that any Mariners fan would want to just give another manager a shot right now it's insane to me. It's fucking. I think I would rather. This is wow. Wow. Are you ready for the hot take of the day?
Oh boy.
Are you ready for the hot take of the day?
Oh boy. Record this, everybody.
Record this.
Be on freezing cold takes.
I might rather keep Scott Service than Pete Carroll.
Whoa. Oh my god. What? No, that's insane.
I might rather. I haven't thought this through. I have not thought this through at all.
Oh my god.
I might rather keep Scott Service on the Mariners than Pete Carroll on the Seahawks. That is a blistering take, and I realize that everyone will think I'm stupid, and I totally understand why.
I mean, if you're buying a stock, like, are you buying Pete Carroll stock? You hope in the next year or two it goes up a bit.
You're buying,
It's probably not. It's probably just gonna stay.
You're getting
where it
residuals
or go down,
or not residuals. What dividends?
Yeah.
What isn't it dividends? You're getting dividends on the Pete Carroll stock.
So Scott Service, there's you got more of a chance. I mean, if he wins a World Series, then you bought a great stock.
Yeah.
I definitely could never fire Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
because of what he's done.
Yeah,
but I don't. Your take is pretty insane, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
like what going forward from today.
Yeah,
like is
if we're talking like if we're talking like 1 year, then it's like. We need to keep Pete Carroll because this is our window. But if we're talking like franchises into the future moving forward, I'm not saying I am taking Scott Service. I might take Scott Service over Pete Carroll. I never thought I would say that. Like, if you would have asked me that question, because I definitely talked myself into this on this podcast. If you would have asked me this yesterday, I would have been like, why? No.
My biggest issue is, like, I feel like Pete Carroll can handle it when the lights are bright.
True, yeah. Who knows?
Nobody's watching Scott Service
now.
That's
the thing. Who knows?
He's not getting tough questions.
Nobody's
asking him why they're losing games.
I don't even know what his voice sounds like, really. So
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see when the lights get turned up on him.
Yeah.
What scurries out. I don't
know.
Yeah. We'll find out.
That'll be interesting for sure.
Wow. That's a wow.
Blistering take.
Yeah.
Blistering take.
Yeah. I gotta save that one.
Yeah.
When they go 60 and 102 next year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Pac-12 and other conferences are going to have forfeits instead of no contest for COVID cancellations. I like this because it leaves a lot less questions in the air just for the end of the season.
Yeah.
But the only thing is like what happens if they both get COVID?
They had COVID on Wednesday and you had it on Thursday.
So and then there's
lose.
gonna be like some sleazeball fake reports from college college boosters that it's gonna get dirty so. Oh my God! Imagine Nick Saban infecting a team I don't know. Well, who does don't they? No, they don't have it's Georgia versus Florida in week 1 or Georgia versus Miami or something. Big matchup. Imagine Kirby Smart.
So Alabama plays Miami.
Alabama plays Miami.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, my bad. So yeah, imagine Nick Saban just dropping some COVID into Miami.
Well, he could just sort of, reach out. There's some anti-vax people down there. Just say, hey, why don't you guys, head over to Miami, take a little trip to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Palm Beach.
Storm the
Yeah.
He stormed the Capitol. Now go storm Miami's football practice. Oh God.
All right.
So I like it. One thing that I do like, I felt like last year the Pac-12 would wait around and see what everybody else does.
Yeah.
And then the day after the Big 12 announced or Big 10 announced something, the Pac-12 would be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do that too."
Oh yeah,
guys.
us too.
And they actually were one of the early ones to come out and say, "Hey, if you can't play, you forfeit."
Yeah.
And really, all this is that's been the rule forever. Forever.
Yeah.
Before COVID. If you
can't play, you forfeit.
If you can't play, you forfeit. So they're just kind of dialing it, to that level. It's a little scary with this variant coming through.
Yeah, because it's just more. It makes it more unpredictable.
But I think also if you're a team, and you're the coach, you're telling them, hey, look, be careful, guys, or it's not just that you won't be able to play.
Yeah.
And I know you love to play.
You're costing the school money. You're the fans are gonna hate you forever. There's a lot of.
Or you might not. You might cost yourself a chance to play for a conference title or something. Like that.
Yeah.
So I like it. I'm glad.
Yeah, I am too. Speaking of anti-vax
unless
coaches,
my team has to forfeit, then I'll change them.
Yeah. Speaking of anti-vax coaches, Nick Rolovich. So a player is he has a suit against him, and basically, so these are some messages from Nick Rolovich in the team GroupMe. It says 38 has decided to opt out. Plan accordingly. I will address this tomorrow night, but there are 2 ways to opt out in my mind: because of COVID or joining the group mentioned in Jesse's message. This group he's referring to is We Are United. It's it's essentially like a pro college football player union type deal. And that will have an effect on the future with us. Anyone opts out either way will not be in the locker room or be doing any football activities with our team this year. He was surprised by this statement. And then there was another screenshot that says, just a heads up, you better assume that you're being recorded when you are talking to players. Well, you better assume that players can take screenshots too, you dumb fuck. Yeah, so this is obviously bad to just essentially kick a player off the team for... And the worst thing is that he considered it opting out for joining this group.
Yeah.
It's not even an option. It's your decision to leave then. You join this group, you're opting out of this team.
Yeah.
That's such a shitty way to put it too.
Yeah.
And then Brian Floyd, who, by the way, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk, the cheese and the noodles just in a pan, boil it all at once. Easiest mac and cheese of your life. Learned it from Brian Floyd.
Nice.
Yeah. So he says, missed this at the time, but Rolovich sending these messages in a way that could be, I think he meant to say recorded request.
Records
could be records requested was not smart. No, records requested. I read that wrong the first time.
You want to say those things in person.
Yeah. God damn. Assume you're always being recorded when you're talking to players.
That's
also when you're texting players.
Yeah, that's a state employee. they're subject to records requests.
Yeah, I didn't even consider the whole state employee part of it, but
especially when you're using state equipment.
Oh yeah, true. Didn't even consider that. Yeah, so this is obviously a really bad look for Roly there and UW, or I mean not UW, Jesus, Wazoo.
Oh boy.
Yeah, bad look for Wazoo. At this point, it's like, you know, he doesn't seem like a good guy.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't be a head coach of a Power 5 school. If he clearly has some opinions about some things. And I just don't. I think every day that Wazoo doesn't fire him is just like a setback for their program, like to move forward. They just need to move forward.
I mean, he's done nothing. He was like a 500 coach at Hawaii.
Yeah,
and this is the guy. This is the guy. I mean, this ain't Nick Saban.
Yeah.
You know?
Why are you like staunchly defending this guy that's coached 0 games for you?
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember when this happened at the time. I didn't think it got enough attention at the time, but I also recognized that he was a new coach last year.
Yeah.
And when you come into a football program, you are gonna run off some guys.
Yeah.
That were part of the reason you lost.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna happen. It happens everywhere. You know, you sort of bring in your own guys and get out. So if you talk to a guy and he sounds like he doesn't want to be there, you get rid of him. I mean, so that does happen.
You mentioned, we were talking about this yesterday. You mentioned Chris Peterson and Marcus Peters.
Yeah.
I mean, that
ran off his best player. Dude was NFL Rookie of the Year. Within 9 months later.
Within 365 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna happen. But this was a little different. And here's the thing: coaches hate any distractions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they hate We Are United. They hate it when guys opt out. They hate it when guys don't. I'll tell you this: they don't like it when guys don't stand for the anthem because they're gonna get asked about it and it's a distraction.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about the politics of it. They just don't want to deal with the distraction. They hate all that stuff. Mm-hmm. The difference between Rolo and a guy, say, like Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll will be like, oh, yeah, he's just, chewing his gum. Yeah, he's just, he's just making a statement. He's just, hey, we're with it. We stand with him. We stand with him.
Yeah, I mean, he said that, Quandre's literally not showing up to his practices. He's like, yeah, he's making a statement. He wants him a new contract.
He fucking hates it. But he's not going to say that. He's going to act like he supports the player.
Yeah.
Rolovich doesn't get it. This is not how you deal with players.
And that's why I said, specifically he shouldn't be a Power 5 coach because, I mean, you could argue he just shouldn't have a coaching job because it just,
Yeah, not this century.
Totally, just personal judgment off what I've seen seems like a piece of shit, so, probably just shouldn't have a coaching job, but definitely not the Power 5 because if you can't handle the media in this, basic of a, if you do something as fucking stupid as sending that text and then also being like, oh, good thing I'm not being recorded, clearly, you're not smart enough to be a Power 5 head coach.
Yeah.
It's just, and yeah, I'll say it again. Every day they don't fire him is a setback for Wazoo because he's not. What do you think? Do you think the locker room's in great shape right now?
Oh God, it's got to be a mess.
Yeah.
And this guy, fans loved him at first because he hey, everybody come to this bar. I'll buy you a beer. He did that one time, and then I think they liked that he's oh, there's only X number of days till the Apple Cup. He was
right. He was
but he got the number wrong. He was off by a day.
He was trying to pander to the and he
whatever. Poke the bear. Go for it, dummy.
And poke the bear, poke, he's not poking shit. Who gives a fuck? You think Jimmy Lake gives a fuck about that tweet?
No. So it's I don't know why he's still there. He's been a failure at every level.
It's
of this job.
He's an industry plant.
And then I was gonna have him be my clown of the week before this stuff kind of came back out again. But I mean, did you see the interview where first he was like, I'm not getting vaxxed. And I'm not going to media day, and then they show him like, so then there's a mandate by the governor that if you're a state employee, you have to get vaxxed, and he is the highest paid. He makes more than Jimmy Lake.
He does.
He's the highest paid state employee.
What did he do to deserve to get a bigger contract than Jimmy Lake?
I don't know. Yeah. So, and Jimmy hasn't done anything either.
Yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, other than lead the best offense in the fucking nation for the past lead the best defense in the nation.
Yeah.
Shut down Wazoo.
Yeah. But so a reporter's like, hey, so now that the mandate's out, are you going to get the vaccine? He's like, I'm going to follow the governor's mandate. Does that mean you're going to get the vaccine? I'm going to follow the governor's mandate. He just wouldn't even answer the question.
Wow, he really he said, I'm going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, basically. And so people at the time thought, oh, is he going to try to claim, some sort of religious thing? Or
so that's what I read is like, because you could do it for religious reasons, and like he said it was personal reasons he didn't want to get into at first. That's what he said at first, and then it's like you can't really just say now it's religious reasons.
Yeah.
Like, if it's personal reasons you don't want to get into, you wouldn't say that. If you would just say religious reasons.
But, it's interesting. A lot of Coug... Now, there are some, obviously there are some anti-vax Coug fans that are probably like, oh, good job, coach. But I think a lot of Coug fans are embarrassed by this guy. And Coug fans are a little different. They're usually like, oh, we love we went 2-9 last year, but we love our coach. Go Cougs!
Mike Leach, you're the best Cougar coach of all time, even though you got stomped the fuck out every Apple Cup. But
even Coug fans are embarrassed by this guy at this point,
Yeah, and it like
even they're speaking out about him.
Like, yeah. So in that regard, every day they don't fire him, they're holding the program back.
Yeah,
but. Like, at this point, right now, it's like, fuck the fans. Like, the players won't want to play for him.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to all transfer. They're all going to go away.
Yeah, transfer portal.
Yeah, how many kids are going to, how many kids are going to be really hyped to let Nick Rolovich into their home and talk to their mother? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't want to have fun. Put on, I don't want that.
Yeah, put on.
You're not vaccinated. Stay the fuck out of my house.
I mean, well, yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah,
that alone. But yeah, I mean, this guy who, is he? What are his politics? Are they in line with my family?
And the fact that, like, any coach, like, there's a reason that no coaches have, like, no one knows about any coach's politics really because of that. Like, he already fucked up. Like. He already it's done. You already fucked up. You became political in a time where you can't be political and still be liked. If you're political at all, you're disliked either way. So you fucked up. You did it. I mean, you fucked up.
Look at Nick Saban. Like, there's no way that guy's like the most liberal
voted
guy.
red every single time.
He has to have.
Yes.
And then, do you think he, like, loves this NIL stuff?
He fucking hates it.
Yeah,
it's his worst nightmare.
But guess what? He's like, okay, I guess we're doing NIL. How can I let this make me win a couple more championships? So then he's tweeting out stuff or saying stuff about his quarterback.
That hasn't played a snap, making seven figures.
Do you think he likes that?
No,
he hates it.
No, he doesn't want to tweet advertisements for like NIL.
But he's thinking, I want all the great quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
So guess
what? Do I want?
Come here, you get $1 million, motherfucker.
He has a really great way of just seeing the end goal in mind and having no other agenda than getting to that end goal, which is winning a championship.
Yeah.
And it's by any means necessary. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, he just had a realization. He's like, well, I'm going to become offensive minded now. And then now he's the best offense in the nation. So, shit like that. And then now with the NIL, like, he adjusted so fast. Dabo Swinney's talking about quitting and then not quitting because he's a pussy. But, Nick Saban he dives right into it. And now, like, those players that are choosing between Clemson and Bama, it seems like an easy choice.
I don't even think he hesitates. He's like, okay, switch directions.
Yeah, it's robotic.
Obstacle there, switch directions.
It's robotic. It's like, No
whining. No, poor me. No, this is stupid.
It's
boom, switch directions.
And you know what's crazy? It's almost like it's not even like he sees an obstacle and switches directions, he like sees an obstacle and like attaches it to his body and becomes stronger. You know what I mean?
He eats
it. Yeah, it's like Pac-Man. He just yeah. He just eats everything in his way and becomes stronger.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Rolly, in my opinion, he's just got to go. And it's like, you know, like it's very obvious that I don't agree with his politics, or at least what I feel like his politics are. But not even for that, just from like a football team standpoint, he's not going to, mark my words. Well, first of all, he's never winning the Pac-12 North with Wazoo. He will never do that. But mark my words, this year, they will be struggling. It will not be that easy to make it to a bowl game for Wazoo this year. I just don't think any of them are gonna fucking like him and care.
Yeah, I mean they look like a 4-8 team to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're I don't be surprised if they don't make a bowl game to me.
Not my lock of the week. I forget who Wazoo's playing. I think they're favored by a fair amount.
Oh, they're playing a shitter.
Take the other team in the points.
Yeah.
Telling you right now.
Yeah, no, I might do that right after this podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, you got any other sports news? Actually, you know what? Have we ever talked about F1 on this podcast?
No.
So we're like big F1 fans.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've gotten into it. Drive to Survive. Check it out.
Watch Drive to Survive. Okay, yeah. Please, if you're seeing this, please, like, there's a lot of episodes, so it might seem like a big time commitment, but you will love it. Please watch Drive to Survive so we could talk about F1 on this podcast, because
Right.
there's no point, right? Like no one fucking knows F1. So
we should address just the absurdity of that race.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So race in Belgium, crazy rain coming down, like very unsafe. Cars are hydroplaning. They can't see shit because of the spray that other cars are spraying up. Like can't see at all. So they postpone it. They have like a 4-hour timer, and it's like, okay, if we can get a little bit of clear weather in this 4-hour timer, we're gonna start. Time's ticking down. Everyone's like, what are we going to do? At this point, like, I just have the broadcast next to me. I'm not really paying attention. No one knows what the fuck is going on, because there was like a warm-up lap, and then there was like pretty much the safety car came out right away, and then there was like 2 laps. So technically 2 laps, even if it's behind a safety car, race has started. And also, Sergio Prez crashed. So, like, there's a bunch of shit going on. Like, can this guy race? Has the race started? If we don't restart, are we going to hand out points? And then they go out and try to restart the race. I'm doing air quotes right now if you're not watching.
Bullshit.
Try to restart the race. They do 2 laps behind the safety car. Basically, it was 100% for commercial reasons, and they wanted to make sure that the race officially counted. So, essentially, there was no movement at all in the race, except since Sergio Perez crashed on that last lap, he came 20th. But, yeah.
It was a debacle.
Absolute debacle.
Yeah.
It was, I just like, here's how I'll put it. Imagine you go to a baseball game and they play, they throw the first, they throw 4 pitches. It's a 3-1 count to the first batter. And then there's a rain delay. And then they say that game counts. And since it was a 3-1 count, the hitter was ahead in the count. The team that was batting wins.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So it's ridiculous. They did it absolutely 100% for money. No question about that it was otherwise. You know, they won't ever admit that, but yeah.
But watch F1, it's fun.
Watch
it when it's raining.
Okay, yeah. Also, there's so much. It's funny. F1's such a entertaining sport, and there's so much shitty things around it. Like there's so many shitty people involved and stuff. But it is such a fun sport to follow. Like even if you don't like racing, just the drama of the personalities.
Yeah.
Drive to Survive is a great show. Okay, we'll stop talking about F1 now. Yeah. So. I guess in that case, it's time.
It's time
for the Howard Schultz Clown of the Week.
The Clown of the
Week. All right. I kind of want to go first just because this one's bulky.
Okay.
So my Clown of the Week is
Oh God.
My Clown of the Week is ESPN and whoever the the company was that booked for ESPN.
Oh gosh.
I looked it up.
IMG.
No. IMG
IMG's the
the
school.
other school. Yeah.
Right. Sorry,
So,
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, if you haven't seen this, Bishop Sycamore, this fake high school, had a bunch of students that were graduated high school. The coach has a felony out, a warrant for his arrest, and they tricked ESPN into televising a game. They played a game on Friday and then a game on Sunday, which obviously led people to say, hey, that's not safe.
Especially when you have like 30 players.
When you have like 30 players.
They're sharing helmets.
And I don't know if you guys know about IMG. IMG is like the football, I don't even know how to compare it. It's like if you're a 5-star recruit, like you move to Florida and go to IMG pretty much. Paragon. Paragon is the company.
Okay.
Paragon is the company that does booking for ESPN. So they trick them. So they get stomped out by IMG 44-0, even though they have like 24-year-olds on their team. There was this really actually disturbing quote too from a player. I'll try to find it right now, but basically this kid was like talking to an interviewer, and here it is. So this is pretty disturbing. So the last interview I had, Aaron Boyd did say someone damn near got stabbed. Player 1, there was an incident where, do you think I should speak on this? And then player 2 said, go ahead. Player 1 says, there was an incident where there was a homeless dude that tried to break into Roy's car. That morning we were supposed to practice and everyone came out. There's videos of this, but I don't want to release that because many players can get in trouble with the law. But they ended up jumping the homeless man and beating him.
Oh my God.
And then, so Roy authorized that. Yes.
And Roy is the head coach guy who has since been fired by the fake school.
By himself. He fired himself. So props to him for at least recognizing that he fucked up and firing himself.
As I read through this, I'm like, this sounds like something, like, how did this happen with the internet?
Yeah.
Like,
I could have figured
something that would happen in the 80s.
Their website was just like a fucking blog that someone made on like Microsoft Outlook. Like, it was so bullshit. And but the crazy thing is they tricked so many teams around the country. Like they've been flying around. Yeah,
it's nuts.
And then there's highlight tapes of them, like they have a defensive lineman that plays quarterback, and he looks, I mean, I don't know how old he is because some of them are actually like 16, 17, but he's built like a 24-year-old huge man,
right?
And he's just absolutely like lowering his head and just trucking kids, and it's just like, fuck, man. Like, that's now, like, it's funny, and then now you're like, you're actually like injuring kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, hustlers are gonna hustle, and it's all on Paragon and ESPN. I blame Paragon. And also IMG, low key.
Yeah.
IMG played them last year too, and stomped the shit out of them, I'm pretty sure. So so also this has been going on for multiple years.
And ESPN is, obviously shifting all the blame, but you put it on your network.
Yeah.
And it was the commentators were saying a lot of stuff like, yeah.
Like, we can't verify this. So if they knew at that time, then like clearly ESPN had some sort of research happening.
If I had been in charge of ESPN and my commentators are saying that, I would have been like, fucking put on ESPN Classic.
Cut the broadcast.
Yeah. Switch
and
over to
Switch
over to cornhole.
Yeah.
Switch over to cornhole.
Yeah. The Ocho, get the Ocho. ESPN the Ocho.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
Like how do you let that just hang out there?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
A lot of people asleep at the wheel on that. Unbelievable.
Crazy.
In the year 2021.
Yeah, and like they were just claiming to have all these big recruits, and then they. Like, the commentators were like, we've been looking it up and we can't find any of these people. So it's like, okay, so then it's very obviously fake then, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you can't, they're not in your own database where you track the top 100 recruits, ESPN. They're not. Yeah. No, I mean, they track all of them, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're claiming to have top 150 recruits.
Yeah.
Like, you have a list with all their pictures. They're not in your database. So how do you think this is real?
Like, holy cow.
Yeah, I can restart the clown music for you if you want.
All right, so my clown of the week is Javier Baez.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, there was a
Yeah.
story I knew I was forgetting to talk about, and this was it.
Yeah. So, and maybe you can add more to it. But basically, playing in New York is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fans are tough. You're gonna get booed. You're gonna get booed in New York. So, the players, especially Baez, started when they did something good, doing thumbs down at the crowd.
Yeah.
Like basically booing them back.
And then in an interview, he specified, yes, this is at the crowd.
Yeah. So, hey, I get that players are going to get mad at the crowd sometimes, but you know what? You got to just, you're the professional.
Yeah.
You're the one making millions of dollars. You just got to eat that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is.
I think so. This is in response to Mets fans booing the shit out of Francisco Lindor mostly, and I think Javi Baez and him are friends. But I don't think from what I've heard, I don't like Javi Baez. He's just like a rental this year, and I don't think Mets fans are that mad at him. But I think
his numbers have been horrible.
His numbers have been bad. Okay,
yeah.
but I think they're mostly mad at because Francisco Lindor has like a 10-year deal,
Right.
and he's hitting 220 this year.
Yeah.
So I think it's mostly him, and I know that they're friends, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, just like instead of doing that in the interview, just say, Francisco's my friend, and I don't appreciate that the fans of this team are booing him. So say that.
Yeah.
You're sending a message there, and that's a respectable message. It's fair.
Yeah.
I don't like that you're booing my friend, but just like it's just childish giving like thumbs down. It's just childish.
Come on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I like Javi Baez, El Mago. He's like one of the most interesting players in the league on the field and off the field, but this is just dumb.
Yeah. Grow up, dude.
Yeah. All right, so player and lock of the week. You can stop the clown music finally. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna start with my player of the week. I'm gonna go with probably a slight surprise pick here. Oh wait, the NFL doesn't start until.
Yeah.
No.
Which is weird, by the way.
No.
It's weird that the NFL, we have a week off.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Well.
Okay. How about I go?
Yeah. You go. You
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
So this is a little kind of a lame pick because the UW is playing Montana, but I'm looking for Dylan Morris to come out and put up some. Two snaps in this. I like that. I think that Dylan Morris is going to come out. I think they're gonna want to show that they can throw the ball.
Yeah.
To give Michigan something to look at. So it's not. I don't think they're going to pound their heads against the wall. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking for Dylan Morris to have a big game.
Hell yeah.
I think he's going to throw 4 touchdown passes.
Whoa! I mean, it's Montana, but whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. My player of the week. For the record, I'm just gonna. Well, maybe I could use it next week. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna use it next week. Yeah. So yeah, my player of the week is actually a player I put a small amount of money to win the Heisman because the odds were so good at plus 5,000. Now they're only like plus 2,000, I think.
Wow.
Graham Mertz, quarterback for Wisconsin. He started off absolutely on fire last year, then got COVID, and then with the Big Ten stuff, he had to miss 3 weeks, and then
for a 3-week season.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. And they're playing Penn State, who was absolute dog shit last year, but is for some reason ranked 19th.
Because it's Penn State.
Because it's Penn State. Yeah.
Joe Pa.
Yeah.
You gotta rank him.
Yeah. Yeah. So give me Graham Mertz. I think he's gonna pop off. Yeah. All right. And then I guess we'll snake it to the to me. Yeah. So my lock of the week is going to be. What is the line on this? I need to make sure I have the right. Yeah. My lock of the week is gonna be Ohio State minus 13.5 against Minnesota. They're gonna win by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. That's a weird line.
Yeah, 13.5 is a very good number for bettors too.
I think if it was 14.5, it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah.
13.5, yeah.
That's a good number. I like it.
So I have a couple of Pac-12 ones here that I think are going to be really interesting.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have two of them. My official one will be I really like Fresno plus 20.5 points against the Ducks.
I might have bet that. Yeah, I
got it. I think I got that one at 21.5. But I also like 20.5. I like that, and here's why. So first of all, I think the Ducks are a little overrated. It may be biased there.
Maybe biased if you look at the back wall in your shirt, but
Right, yeah. I think Fresno is a good football team also.
They are, yeah.
With Jake Haener at the helm.
Oh, yeah. They're always solid.
Yeah. And then I also really like that they have played a game and Oregon hasn't. I think there's a huge advantage because they don't have preseason.
Yeah.
So I think there's a huge advantage when one team has played a game and the other has not.
Yeah, that's probably
It's like a really good scrimmage essentially.
Right.
So I like that one a lot. I like UCLA plus 3.5 at home against LSU. Yeah.
Whoa.
Same reason. They've played a game. I also think.
You actually believe in UCLA?
I think UCLA is going to surprise some people this year.
Okay, I've heard that, and I don't know why.
They have an experienced quarterback.
Okay.
Coming back.
He wasn't that.
He's solid.
Okay.
I think they've had Chip Kelly there for a couple years. They've got a ton of players back.
Put the visor back on, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
I also think LSU. I mean, they were bad last year.
Yeah, true. They really were.
They're on the road in their opener. I think LSU is going to continue to struggle some this year, so I look for UCLA. I don't think the money line is a terrible idea on that.
What's do you have the number?
3.5 is the spread.
Right, but do you have the odds?
No, I don't. I don't have that in front of me.
So, yeah, I
just think it's at UCLA. They've played a game.
Yeah.
Experienced quarterback versus LSU.
Yeah, those reasons. I do like that pick.
But that's not my official.
That's not your
one.
official
That's a bonus. That's a bonus. Yeah, bonus one. I really like both of those a lot.
My follow up to your prediction that LSU will continue to struggle is how many years before LSU fans are calling for Ed Orgeron's head?
They'll be doing it this year.
This year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't he get a lifetime deal?
Maybe.
Pretty sure he got a lifetime deal. So, 2 years after.
It won't take long.
2 year after a lifetime contract.
They go sub 500.
Did he?
2
Okay.
years in a row.
I need to look up his contract. Ed Orgeron contract.
Ed O. I love him. He's one of those guys though that I feel like the players love him. He gets them fired up, but I don't think he can sustain a program. I just think, he's shown a couple times now that he's not the right guy for that. So yeah, he won a title at LSU and it was awesome.
Joe Burrow also had the best season of all time, maybe. And also Joe Brady left.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator. So.
And Ed's a defensive line coach, so he didn't have a whole lot to do with that offense. So I just think he's a guy that you want as your defensive line coach or defensive coordinator. Short-term guy, but I just don't think long-term he's a head coach, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As much as I really like him and I always root for him, but it just hasn't gone well when he's had those chances for long-term.
Yeah. Edo's Coach O's contract is for 6 years, but I feel like there was like a handshake. As long as you don't fuck this up, you're going to be here forever type of thing. Seems like he's fucking it up. All right. I mean, I like him. I want him to be a head coach of a team. Ideally LSU because it fits so well. Yeah. But I just want his face in the media. I want his voice.
Go Tigers. I won a football game, a defensive line over here. Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No.
All right. That camera literally just died right now, so we'll talk into that one. Yeah, lean in. Yeah. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29. Got a book right here, High Points. Yeah, go check it out. And with that being said, here, you wave goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Bye.
Bye.